All right, great day to start the 2025-26 cyclocross season. This is the first race of the Ibaraki CX series. It's also the first race of the national Japan CX series. It's in Tsuchiura, about an hour north of Tokyo. So I'm in the ME4 category again this year. There were maybe 45 people actually on the start line today in ME4-B. There was also an ME4-A, which started about 30 minutes before us. It was a pretty fast start. A few of us jumped out to the front with 45 people or so. It's nice to be out ahead of the pack a little bit. And there's this smooth start both on the track and now the pavement before heading into the grass here. It's a good place to put in a little bit of effort and to get out ahead of the pack. So the pre-ride was actually still a bit wet. There was a bit of rain yesterday afternoon and the field was a little soggy. But it wasn't really heavy rain, so this is an hour or so after the pre-ride and already it's pretty dry. I put on some light mud or all-terrain tires instead of the little bit slicker file tread tires. Not sure it was a big difference one way or the other. But definitely drier than I was expecting. So it's a pretty hard start. 1,000 or 1,100 watts right off the start. Coming through here, everyone at the front was still going pretty hard, fighting for position. Every race it's a bit of a dilemma, whether to go out hard at the start and try to build up a little bit of a lead, or to hold back a little bit and take a little bit of a chance with maybe being stuck behind a bottleneck here or there. I think I've come to the conclusion that being out towards the front is better overall. I think the one thing that I try to avoid though is just going out too much on adrenaline, really exhausting myself and digging too much of a hole. There were two guys here setting the pace. If there's just one, that can be a little dangerous, I think. If you're relying on someone else's judgment about how hard to go out. But with two people here, I thought there was a decent chance that at least one of them would end up with the stamina to stay towards the front, even if the other one ended up tiring and dropping off. The guy was calling out the positions there, so it sounds like 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th were all right on my heels. Sort of an interesting feature coming up here. Slow down for this tight turn. And then there are these sort of steps that really weren't that hard to do sort of a little half bunny hop over. But if it got any more crowded or someone lost their footing, it could definitely cause a little bit of a bottleneck where you'd have to jump off and run up. And then up at the top, there isn't that much space to clean the remount. So these sort of off-camber turns here were a bit slick in the pre-ride, but really not bad at all after the ground dried a little bit. So these guys are setting a pretty good pace. My heart rate was already up to 174 beats per minute here. That's going to be really tough to sustain through the whole 30-minute race. So I hoped that we could get some space and maybe people would let up a little bit after the first lap or so, after they establish some position. No luck so far. Didn't feel like a huge effort there, but well over 300 or even 400 watts to catch back up to these guys. So here we're back at the where we started. It's the pavement leading into the finish line straight away. This is going to be the finish line right there. Bit of a straightaway if it comes down to a sprint. It seems like that's pretty rare in these races. There's always a bit of separation, it seems like, before the last lap. So the numbering started at 21 today. I was wearing number 21. I think probably based on last year's season rankings. So the person in front of me, 24, he was also starting in the front line, the front row at the starting line. But he's a strong rider, setting a really tough pace. I was really finding it hard to stick with him. At this point, I don't think I was looking at my heart rate too closely. It's up close to 180, but I definitely felt it. I think I was thinking that trying to catch up to him would just be a bad idea at this point and would really put me in too much of a hole. Sort of in no man's land. Probably would have been better to ease off a little more and let some other people catch up to me and then follow their pace instead of being stuck in the middle between them and the guy in front of me. So my heart rate's not really going down at all. It looks like it's maybe down to the mid-170s now. Back up to 177. So I don't know, in retrospect, I was probably pushing too hard here. I'm not sure if those two guys and those two more there were third place, fourth, fifth, sixth behind me. No, there's one or two guys closer. It's number 61. So he must have had a really fast first half lap. If he was starting 40 spots back at 61. Looks like he's going to jump up with the first place guy. I don't think I really had it in me to stick with him. So in today's race, the top 3 finishers would get an upgrade to the next category, ME3. So I had that in mind, hoping that I could start off the season with an upgrade. So I'm in 3rd place here, but really feeling it. So definitely a danger that I'd be caught. But I figured as long as I kept an eye on the people behind me, then I could stay in contention and maybe play things by ear depending on how things shake out later in the race. If I'm able to stick with 3rd place, then great. If I slip down to 4th or 5th, then maybe I just keep 3rd place in sight. To let someone slip away and put all top 3 spots out of reach. It's a pretty fast course today. Packed grass in a lot of places, and then not too many technical tight turns. And pretty short too. There aren't many races that get 5 full laps in. Finishing up the 2nd lap here. So not quite halfway through the race. Looks like I was able to rest a little bit on those smooth sections. My heart rate's at least down to the lower 170s, which isn't great, but maybe the best it will be today, the rest of the race. I'm still jogging a little bit. Got the double barriers here. A little bit of a heart rate spike when I jump off my bike and run. I don't remember, but I think there were probably a couple of guys behind me at this point. I thought there's this, after this turn or two, there's a little bit of a straightaway. It's a little deceptively slow. There may have been a very slight incline here. So I thought someone might come by me here. But to maintain speed, you really have to put in a bit of power. So the 2nd place just went around their 2nd place now. Now turn the straightaway. This was a tough one to keep speed through. It's pretty wide. It was tempting to start the turn sooner. And then with some loose dirt, really didn't have that much confidence to maintain much speed. I've done this race once before. was 2 years ago, but it was pouring. So I think we only got through maybe 4 laps. It was slow, messy, lots of people slipping around. With those conditions, it always feels like luck is a much bigger part of it. On a faster course or faster conditions like today, it feels a bit like it's just a fitness test, who's in the best shape. Just turn right there had a couple of divots in the ground. In the pre-ride, I slipped out, almost fell, not even going very fast. So I had that in the back of my mind, going through there each time in the race. So I don't know if it threw me off a little bit. If I could have done anything differently, probably not. If I ended up going a little more slowly than I could have. Looks like the third lap was a bit slower than the second, first. No surprises there. The first lap is often a fight for position, I guess, with the first couple of people jumping out. and I'm finally overtaking him for 3rd place. Coming up here, I get to bunny hop onto the sidewalk, and I think my foot slipped out. Yeah, and I had to spend a couple seconds getting my foot back in place. So what I really didn't want to happen was to see him slip ahead and sort of try to bridge that gap to 1st and 2nd, but I guess I had a little bit of luck with his bad luck there. Slipping around that corner, I was able to come back into 3rd and get ahead of him in this faster section. So we're coming back towards the end of this lap. To the right is the track where the first lap started. It's just around this this curve here. Loose sand, whatever it was here. Looks like this lap is going to be more in line with the 3rd lap again. Yeah, it's the slowest lap so far. Heart rate's not really doing any better, but definitely felt it adding up. So this is the last lap. He's in 3rd place, I'm in 4th. There were a couple of chances I had to pass him here or there, and I thought about doing that, but I ended up deciding that just letting him set the pace, staying on his wheel, and then when we get towards a couple of straightaways at the end, I just wanted to trust my sprint, sort of try to surge past him then. Maybe keeping the pressure on him here, I thought might tire him out a little bit, and give me a little bit of a psychological edge to slip by him at the end, in theory at least. But he's still going pretty strong. I'm up close to 400 watts. Heart rate over 180. With close to 4 minutes left in the race still. I'm not going to be able to keep So it looks like I'm still in an okay position here. Catching back up to his wheel through this turn. Didn't really want to let any more space open up there, or else there'd be really just no chance to catch him. Yeah, I was hoping that might be the spot to get by him. A lot of times when I saw people run up there, it would take them a little longer to get back on the bike. And even though I was riding and it was slow, I didn't have to worry about the remount slowing me down. There just wasn't enough space there for me to feel comfortable fighting through. So I was stuck with the original plan, decided to just stay close behind him here and hope that another chance would present itself to get by him. Something happened here. Maybe I wasn't fully clicked in, or I think maybe I struck the pedal on the hill, so I lost a couple of seconds. Not out of reach, but just a little bit more of a gap to make up now. But I think I was a bit just deflated. He had enough there for a bit of a surge, and I didn't. So I think at that point, I realized it wasn't in the cards today. This is a left rider in front of us, so I had no chance to get a position from him. So, final straightaway here. There was a guy behind me in fifth, not too far behind me, so I still had to put in a little bit of an effort here. But at this point, I could tell he wasn't going to catch me, so rolled across the finish line, fourth place. Yeah, there's the fourth place guy. So, I was happy enough with the race overall. I think I did as well as I could have. But yeah, disappointing not to be able to get third. Hoping it's not another season of just a lot of near misses. But we'll see.